Artwork, critiques, Photoshop files, and reference sheets are all available on my Patreon. Well, hello there guys and girls, I hope you're all doing bloody well. My name's Mikey and welcome along to another episode of Draw With Mikey, episode 122, How the Devil Are You? So yeah, hey guys, if you're not familiar with what's going on or you're a bit of a new viewer, new joiner, hiya, this is the super casual, unedited, long rambling midweek series. It's just my opportunity to actually kind of have a bit of a connection and touch bases with you guys by reading through the comment section to the series. So if you've got anything that you want to ask me, any feedback, any thoughts, more importantly as well, any answers to the questions that I desperately ask you guys, then get yourself into the comments section below. And with any luck, I'll be reading through them next week. I do have a couple questions for you. Let me just say, oh yeah, never forget guys, never forgive, never forget. But also, make sure you've got yourself a bloody lovely cup of tea and or coffee if you're into that sort of thing, because I will be rambling for about an hour. And yeah, maybe you guys are just getting your own artwork stuff and ting or projects done in the background as well. Thanks for the company. Delicious. So, I just wanted to start off by saying, guys, I bloody love you lot sometimes. Thank you so much. Guys, you just gave me such a massive warm welcome in last week's DWM, because I was back from hiatus and it was just absolutely super. Loads of people checked into the videos, even if it was just to pop down and pop a comment to say welcome back and stuff. I really appreciate that. It was super kind of you guys. So yeah, it's nice to be back in the swing of things. Now, of course, I'm only human. I'm definitely going to probably miss another week of videos at some point pretty soon, because that's how I am. But I will be doing my best, obviously, to nail down on it. And it's just nice to be in that role. However, quite a lot of you went into last week's episode, and there was over 530 comments. So that is fantastic. I will be doing my best to kind of power through today, read and catch as many of your comments and you lovely people's opinions and thoughts as possible. I will try not to get sidetracked into too many rambling stories and just kind of catch up with you lovely people. So I'm ready for a bit of ace to the base. Let's get in the pace. However, one of my questions this week is a lot of people have been asking me to maybe consider doing some sexy fan arts of the Fire Emblem's Three Houses ladies. Now, I am aware that it is a game, but I'm not familiar with it. I haven't played it myself. And I had a really quick Google search and I thought, wow, okay, there's a few on here. And then I kind of opened things up and realized there is a plethora of characters in this game. There's just so many. So guys, if you're familiar with this video game, who are your top favourite waifus, okay? Who are the top ladies of Fire Emblem 3? Your own personal favourites, maybe you like a certain type of character because of their attitude or design, but also maybe you just know who the most popular ones are. Basically, guys, I'm relying on you. You gotta educate poor old Mikey here. He's not in touch. So if you could get in the comments, let me know. I would actually appreciate that. But also, in a bit of a wider sense, I do have kind of a more overarching question for, people who aren't familiar with this video game. And it's basically because in the last fan art that I did, we did some gender bend Sekiro as part of that sweet Patreon catch-up. And I actually quite enjoyed that because it was a very different process to what I've been doing, or at least what I've been doing for a while. So you might notice that the fan art we did before was Nessa, the Pokemon gym leader, and it's a very saturated image, and the finish is kind of hyper clean, nicely kind of cut in around all the edges and so on. And this time I actually kind of focused on the feeling of rough texture, low saturation, a relatively closed color palette, keeping it all these kind of ambers and reds to yellows in this autumn feeling to bind everything together. And I mostly focused on the light source to pick out the character and kind of identify the shapes. And the way that I actually ended up going about this, of course, there's this whole long spieling version where I'd go into detail on Patreon. But basically, I kind of relied on some layer effects more than anything. I went through some gentle layer effects of multiply and then lighten layers and then color dodge layers a little bit at the end, and then I still sharpened up the lines a touch to make the character pop. But instead of going around section by section, super render the eyes, super render the face, super render the hair, work down the body until the piece is done after 35 hours of my life falling down the drain. This time instead I kind of, went over the whole piece with a cheeky layer of multiply, and then went over again with another layer of multiply, just bringing it up slowly and kind of finding the form and the shape and how the piece is going to end up being by going through these layers in any one spot. So it meant I ended up working with the brush being relatively large and not too small, and I really basically just enjoyed that change of process. It gives me a piece of a very different kind of feeling, and I'm probably going to play around with that again in the future. So anyway, this leads me to the actual question. I'm so sorry guys, I'm definitely about to start reading your comments, by the way. And that question is just, for you guys who like to draw, whether you're pros trying to become pro, or it's just a bit of a hobby for you, or you've ever put pen to paper, not necessarily what got you into art or what motivated you out from the beginning, but is there ever anything that you've come across that's caused you to experiment and change what you normally do to get some different results? It might be for better or for worse. And it might be as simple as, you always draw digital, but then one day you saw somebody painting with gouache and you decided to give it a go and you've got some feelings about that. Or is it just kind of like you've seen a particular art book or a particular art image or style, or just you had an event in your life that made you think, right, let's just kind of experiment a bit. So guys, if you've got any experience or opinions on that, get yourself in the comments, let me know, because I'm super curious, because I just kind of found like, oh, maybe I can rely on just layer effects instead of manually painting every single thing. Maybe this is going to make things a little bit smoother and improve my workflow personally. That's the never-ending journey. Anyway, so yeah, guys, let me know. However, come on, let's get cracking. Let's touch bases with you lovely individuals and see what's going on in the comment section. Gandalf says, "It's not nudity if there are no nipples." Yes, Gandalf, absolutely. We are doing that old secret special where we don't include any nipples, and apparently we're not setting off YouTube's demonetization just yet. But don't talk about it, I'm super scared. So I'm assuming YouTube kind of thinks that might be a bodysuit underneath all of that rope bondage. Spoiler alert, it's not in that fan art. It's nude shibari outfit. And Fusrodar says, 4 naked girls in the thumbnail, 1 spicy video, 4 mid-roll ads. The perfect channel does exist. Oh, Fusrodar, thank you so much for saying. Fusrodar, I think I only put 3 adverts in the middle of the video, but I'm gonna nudge it up to 4. Guys, this is a legit question, by the way. I'm throwing a lot of questions at you today's episode. Thank you so much. Guys, obviously I want to pay the rent, but I don't want to be obnoxious. Now, there's nothing worse than opening a video and the first thing you spot is like 100,000 little yellow dots along the bottom of the screen, and you're just like, oh good, they've placed an advert every 2 minutes. This is a nightmare. But I'm going to consider, actually I'm going to experiment. In this episode, I'm going to put 4 random mid-roll ads instead of 3, although keep your eyes out guys, because I'm still giving away those Amazon gift card codes as well, sneaking them in. And by the way, the people who've been getting those Amazon gift codes have been sending me thank you messages. I'm assuming it's part of built into Amazon, but they're super kind. I have been reading them. Thank you very much, guys. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, kid. But basically, I'm going to pop in 4, and I want you guys to just tell me, look, can you actually notice a difference? Is it just those little ones that pop up in the bottom of the screen and it doesn't really affect your viewing stroke listening experience, especially for those of you who've just got me on audio? Or is it now, is 4 too many? Is that just pushing things over the edge? Do let me know. Let's call this a test run for today's episode. Your Aha Lollybot says, I love this family-friendly channel. My favourite art channel. Yoraha, I'm assuming you're being a little bit sarcastic, but if it's still your favourite, then I'll take it. Thank you very much for the kind words. And Arthur Jackson says, how good can a channel be if it hasn't been demonetised at least once? I'm glad you're back, Mikey. Arthur, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you. And Akira Ishin says, oh my god, Daddy's back from getting cigarettes. He loves us, guys. He really does. Glad you're back. Missed you. Akira, thank you so much. Indeed, I was just popping out to buy cigarettes, and then 13 years later, I've come stumbling back into your life because I heard you won some money on the internet, and I want to see if I can somehow claim that. So, I'm one of those father figures. Zoo Justin says, Mikey, can you please draw Jessica Rabbit? Yeah, she's actually on the to-do list. She's quite far down, I won't lie. But yeah, Zoo, she's on the radar. And Tomin2233 says, I'm constantly looking over my shoulder for the FBI. Tomin, you're safe. It's always safe for work stuff I publish publicly. I keep all that NSFW stuff on Patreon and nowhere else, just so that, if it's got my name on it, you can technically open it in a public space. I know safe for work doesn't necessarily mean appropriate. Let me sip this. But we ride that knife edge round here. Because remember, we've got to get kids into drawing as well, so I can't actually put people off by just going out and out. Although, it's always a balance. It's fun finding that balance. If we can offend somebody, then we're doing it right. I don't want to offend a huge amount of people, but as long as somewhere somebody's just kind of going, that doesn't quite meet my expectations of what's allowed on the internet, then I'm just like, good. Good for you. Catacube says, dang, a new DWM right after I finish my daily hour of sketching and I have to start getting ready for work. You put in an hour a day of sketching. I am envious. Most of my time, dude, that's an excellent habit, by the way, I'm impressed. Most of my time disappears into editing videos or doing tablet reviews. Actually just takes so much of my time. Every tablet review I do is like, it's usually now 2 days long to finish it, and I don't know why. I just struggle to get my head around it and have to do so much warm-up to get used to a different screen. I'm starting to wonder if I love them as much as I used to. No, they're good, I like the tablets. And Quatatotomot says, Mikey Mega Mega literally draws hentai, YouTube. Wait, that's illegal. Hey, not literally, just almost, buddy. Fot Destroyer says, I really need to pick up the pen and paper again. Fot Destroyer, come on, dude, do it. Execute, oh my god. Oh my god, okay, so you've just given me an idea, although Fot, I'm so sorry, it's completely off the sidetrack. So, everybody knows Execute Order 66. Does anybody remember a game, right, where, like, it was something you played in primary school when you're kids, and there's one person is, like, the main person in the game, and they've got, like, a clock, or they're the crocodile, or they're someone says who, and they're facing away from all the other children who are at the other end of the playground. And they say something or give out a number, and you're allowed to creep towards the person with their back turned, and when they turn around, you have to freeze. Does that ring any bells as a primary school game? Anyway, what I was just thinking is, I was just thinking of like a version of that where the Emperor is talking to all of the clones, and he's just like, Execute Order 60, and all the clones are just like, oh, and they're just like raising their guns towards all the Jedi, and then the Emperor just goes, 67, and they all go, no. It's just literally, that's just what's going on in my head. Anyway, guys, you continue to say, my last piece was a side-by-side comparison of Kamami-san in a cheerleader outfit. The first style with her being confident and rocking it, and a second with her being embarrassed. Oh, dude. That's actually a really good thing. If you want to draw a character expressing in one direction, but then draw that character again, expressing and emoting differently, it's an excellent way to force yourself to really lean into facial expressions and also, very importantly, body language and that kind of fluidity. Dude, good techniques to impose on yourself. Infernal Snow Art says, I've never been so fast to click. Oh yeah, so we did some, in the last episode, some sketches of Bia, the slightly more muscly Pokemon gym trainer. I'm pretty sure I told you that's led me into seeing a lot of images of very gym fit girls at the moment, which I'm totally okay with, by the way. Yeah, I was just kind of sketching out the form, just trying to get a feel for the frame. So most of it's kind of that kind of line work, building blocks, things of the body. I did colour in some flesh tones, but it's still just kind of, body shapes more than anything. Oh, and by the way, yeah, so rolling on in the background of this episode, and remember guys, the whole point about DWM, or the Draw With Mikey, is that much like every other human being, who draws that is, I will sometimes draw stuff that looks okay, and I will mostly draw stuff that looks really derpy. I'm just sharing kind of like my sketching process with you guys. So some episodes are gems, some episodes are absolute terrible. And the whole point is that's totally okay, that's normal, so just embrace it. However, a while ago, before I went into this new studio space, which I'm absolutely loving, thank you very much for asking, we had a go at drawing some thick Mama Thanos, gender bent like big girl Thanos. I wanted her wide and strong and taking no shit. And in some streams, I think we just tried having a look at how we could express Thanos in a female form. And what I think I've put together for this is you're just going to see like me starting a load of rough, loose, sketchy shapes and kind of getting my way through it. And then just recently, I decided to sit down and just have another go, not putting anything final, but putting together something very rough that kind of depicts what I had in mind. So as it all goes on, you're going to see like a load of trial and error. And then I've got this really kind of rough matte down of thick, wide, massive hench Mama Thanos. And again, it's just kind of like, it's a bit of a derpy image, but the overall gist of what I'm kind of trying to express through it kind of sits there. So it can be the sort of thing that maybe one day I'd take to final. But the whole point is that, you get these ideas and you haven't really got the time to actually make a perfect final image out of it. But you also know that you need to find 2 or 3 hours at some point in the next couple weeks to get that idea out of your head and into the sketchbook or onto the tablet and so on. So that's what it was for me. This kind of Thanos image had been rattling around my head way back when Endgame was still a relevant topic. And I only just recently had a spare moment to think, right, okay, I actually just want to get this out of my brain so that I don't have to clutter it up, and I can free it up to get other things done, which is the magic of art, right? You get these ideas and you want to kind of put them down. Sometimes you don't find it, so you leave it in your head for a little bit later and you come back. That's what sketchbooks are for, guys. Sketchbooks. Get yourself a sketchbook, pen and pencil. Couldn't recommend it more. Anyway, Chloe Earth says, I just wanted to tell you how much of an impact you've made on my life through art. I've been watching your videos and tutorials for a while now, and my art has gotten better through the help of them, especially with the anatomy. Now my art is somewhat professional, and I've been accepted into an art course in my local college. Chloe Earth, I want to thank you for the help in getting there, so thank you. Oh, Chloe Earth, that's a really fucking kind message. I'm so glad to hear that. Look, if I've had any effect in a positive, I am a very happy man to hear that. Congratulations for getting into that course, Chloe. That's all on you, by the way. You got some hard work ahead, but I think you're going to have some fun. That's so cool. Cheryl Brown says, welcome back. Thank you, Cheryl. It's good to be here. Watching you draw is amazing inspiration, and it gets the creative juices flowing. Hey, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I mean, like, you know, we all find inspiration in loads of other people. But again, just, dude, thank you so much. Let me sip this. What I'm going to do, guys, and I promise I'm not hating, is if I see like a message, because there's so many in here, if I see like a message which is just really short and it just says welcome back or something, thank you so much, but I will try to make sure I'm catching like, I don't know, questions or any other bits, just because there's so many people. Aeon Games says, I'd really like to get my hands on some of those 3D reference sheets of your designs. Cheers. Oh, dude, that's the reference sheets for all my tutorials is $2 on Patreon. Just $2, just once, and you can download my entire pack, which is totally fine. And the actual artwork from some of these DWMs, that's also floating around in different Patreon tiers, or in my subs Discord on Twitch, depending on where you look. Jed says, hey Mikey. Hello Jed. I know this is none of my business, but I feel like you've started way too many projects concurrently. Correct. Maybe you should consider trimming down the list. Just maybe. No, Jed, that's absolutely excellent idea. Right now, Film Cram is on hiatus. It's semi-dormant. Definitely not extinct, because I want to cram the Star Wars movies before Christmas. But yeah, I should have also at some point been cramming Game of Thrones Season 8 on my other YouTube channel, and I couldn't, because right now I have been, and by the way, I've just gotten this out of the way, but I've been massively redecorating this office space. It's like, you know, going into walls, plastering, sealing up stuff, doing the ceilings, sanding the floorboards. That is all done. This space is like 85% complete now. I just need to get some art on the walls and a couple ferns or something. What makes a good house pot plant? A couple pot plants in here as well to kind of really wrap things up. But dude, it's kind of freeing in. So I'm just back on kind of the roll, basically. But you are correct. I actually, Jed, it's one of my personal problems. I always make sure I'm doing one thing more than I can handle, because I've got this weird need to be desperately productive all the time. Gus, get out of my mind. Gus Schoenmaker says, me, gets back from a long car ride and ends up very tired. YouTube, Mikey uploaded a new DWM. Me, sleep is for the weak. Oh, and that weightlifting anime girl's anime is called Dumbbell Nan Kilo Moteru. Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, what kilo dumbbells? What kilogram dumbbells have you? That's my terrible version of translating Japanese. What kilogram dumbbells have you? Thank you so much. I was asking about this, especially after looking at all those Muscle Gym Fit girls. Thank you very much, Gus, and thank you for the kind words. Atomichi22 says, hey, you really do love us, you're back. You're the best drawer in the world. No, I am absolutely not. You take that back. Thank you. There are some incredible artists. I am just another dude on the journey, right? That's literally it. The only difference is I try to make drawing tutorials out of the stuff I feel a bit more confident with to obviously help other people. But that's literally it. I'm just another bloke trying to learn to draw. Nat Jones says, I'm starting college soon, so I'm scared. Nat, come on, girl. You got this. But I have started drawing more as I really want to improve, and I've been watching so many of your tutorials, and they've helped me so much. I love your videos so much. Woo! Thank you, you guys. Come on, you guys are too kind. Thank you so much. That's awesome of you. The Ship That Flew says, welcome back from demonetized hell. Dude, right, it's warm down there, mate. Also, I hope you review those huge notepads list of yours on occasion. Yeah, guys, so I always keep like a notepad file open and I take all of your suggestions. And now I have a folder full of notepad suggestions, and it's quite big. It's quite big. There's a lot of things. But it's great because it means when I've got some downtime, it will never happen. I can finally just relax and go back through the history of things I've always wanted to work on and go through your suggestions. It's Deke says, Mikey, if you've noticed, I haven't been showing up to the Twitch streams. Where have you been, brother? And the reason for that is I took the time to watch Hunter x Hunter due to the endless recommendations. And I love it. Okay, that's perfectly allowed. I don't mind if we never talk again. I mean, I'll miss you, mate. But if we never talk again because you're watching Hunter x Hunter, that's okay. Guys, for those of you, I mean, I know you haven't asked, but if anybody was thinking, oh, should I bother watching Hunter x Hunter? I hear good things about it. Yes, you should. The 2011 remake of Hunter x Hunter, I strongly recommend it. And if you really need some convincing, because it does start off a little slow, but trust me, it is worth it. This is my Mikey recommendation. If you need some convincing, there's a very good YouTube video by someone called Super Eye Patch Wolf, and it's called Why You Should Watch Hunter x Hunter. So get yourself on it. I'm happy to see you again. Happy to see you too. Black Lion says, have you seen a show called OKKO? Let's Be Heroes. Can you do a drawing of Professor Venomous and Fink? I have not, Black Lion, but I will control C and control V that into my notepad. And Wintercraft says, can you do a few of the main characters from the anime Rising of the Shield Hero? Ooh, actually, I'm not familiar with that one either. I've just also popped that one away. So they're on the list, my friends. Caitlin Valen says, I have a fan art suggestion. Maybe Kaina Kazlana from Honkai Impact. Guys, oh my god, what have I just done? Oh, I've just done the wrong thing. Bear with. I'm just scrolling back down. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Okay, guys, I'm actually adding quite a few on. Okay, Honkai Impact, I've got it, Caitlin. Because I did probably ask you guys last week, what's good? What am I missing in that world of anime? Who should we be fan arting? But again, guys, tell me about those Fire Emblem free houses. I keep thinking it's Fire Emblem free houses, but it's Fire Emblem free houses. Could somebody tell me about those waifus? Who are the top ladies? And of course, anything that encouraged you to try something a little bit different for once in your art style. Kickbees, glad to hear you're back. Thank you so much, dude. YouTube's barely making any money. Oh, yeah, YouTube, I think, has technically just turned a profit recently, but it was operating at a loss for years and years and years. As long as it killed the competition, it was doing its job. It just needs to be the main video platform. Xantophil says, for weightlifting anime, how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? Oh, that's a much better interpretation of the words. The girls are right up my alley. Feel free to draw them. Xantophil, thank you very much. I will be investigating that anime after this episode. Thanks, says Jordan01. Because of you, I now post my art online. Jordan, have you got yourself a little glimmer of confidence there in your own work? Excellent. Time to share. Get yourself some thick skin, because the world of critiques can be quite harsh. But dude, it's very important to take critiques, and I'm so glad you're, putting your artwork out there, man. That's awesome. Draw Ninja KC says, glad to have you back, Mikey. So unfortunate when crap like that happens. Yeah, dude, it's YouTube for you. Glad you took them on and won. Oh, yeah, thank you so much. You have to really step into the... this is now a legal document that I'm challenging you with, instead of just I've filled out a form on YouTube. But once I send that in, they were just like, yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm just going to be working through those background ones as well. Leon De Castro says, will you ever finish Dark Souls? I really love that short stuff you did on Dark Souls 3. Reminds me of my first playthrough. Dude, Leon, yeah, I'm up for it, man. We're still halfway through Sekiro, I think, or a little bit over halfway. I've killed that guardian ape, and then I've killed all of the monkeys in the spiritual realm. But we've just got a little bit more grinding through that game, and I'm really enjoying taking a break from that for the moment and playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, because it's just such a charming, gentle, lovely, uplifting game compared to Sekiro. But yeah, it is my Dark Souls training, that game. I rang the demon bell, so in my defense, I've actually made the game go on to hard mode for me, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. T-Bree Cup says, honestly, this got me out of art block. Oh, T, thank you for saying that as well. You lovely people listening in, working on your own artwork, I wish you all the best. May the ink flow smoothly. May your lines be crisp and great. Horizon Williams says, glad you're back. Thank you very much, dude. And Rafik Animated says, that weeping drill is pretty lewd, Mikey. You might get age restricted for drawing best boy. Yeah. Weeping drill is best boy. I love him with all my heart. It's my Pokemon fusion, and his only move is struggle, and he just lives his life one day at a time through pain, and he just tries to make it out there. Do you know what I mean? Despite his shortcomings, and it's just a little bit of a motivator for all of us, and I'm kind of semi-tempted to get it as like a splattered tattoo on the inside of my bicep. I really don't know what I'm going to do about that, but I've really got emotionally attached to a Pokemon fusion, which is probably the sign that I need to, you know, maybe get a puppy or a cat or something in the house. Edit, by the way, the game of the camera is called Outlast. Oh, yes! Oh yeah, I was having an ask. So guys, so I'm always trying to rotate the video games we play on Twitch. So I've always got like a slot where we do a scary game and an RPG and maybe a classic and maybe a modern action video game. And my scary game slot is currently Dead Space 2. But I was kind of saying, but I would never play it of my own volition, but I would consider VRing it for a charity fundraiser of some sort, maybe in the future, and that's Outlast or Outlast 2, because those games look terrifying. Knave Hearted says, my summer's been going good. Guys, how are your summers going? I finally hit the requirements for Twitch affiliate. Oh, Knave, excellent. I thought it would take me longer. No, dude, congratulations. That's a great step. Currently, my big art project is drawing 12 characters, each representing a zodiac sign. 13 because of Gemini. Dude, I'm really semi-considering doing the zodiacs myself as obviously sexy waifus. Not this year. Now that I think about it, I don't think I'm going to have time to do it next year. Possibly next year, which sounds absolutely fantastic. And then obviously it'll be released the year after. When do calendars start, guys? Do calendars start from January? Or do calendars start from April? Is it like an April to April tax year thing? Or is it a January to December thing? I actually have no idea. I would appreciate knowing. Anyway, in each one I'm focusing... Oh, it must be January, right? Because then they make really good Christmas presents. Okay, we'll go January. In each one I'm focusing heavily on an area that I'm lacking in artistically. Oh, dude, way to push your skills. Background, anatomy, perspective, etc. Hopefully by the end, I'll level up my art skills. Dude, you're absolutely right. Somebody was asking me on a live stream about like hitting a particular ceiling with their work and their standards and feeling frustrated they're not evolving. And the whole thing is that if you keep doing the stuff that you're comfortable with, you start to plateau with it. And the best leaps and jumps that you're going to make with your artistic styles and skills is by experimenting with something you're not familiar with, realizing you're not very good at another thing and actually kind of leaning into it, essentially making yourself a bit uncomfortable and forcing yourself to learn again. We all like going past those it's very difficult to learn feelings and stages that we all have and entering that comfortable zone. But once you're kind of there for too long, you need to kind of go into uncomfortable again. And you're kind of going to realize that those ceilings and stuff and those plateaus are actually just steps on a bit of a journey that's going to take you quite nicely uphill. But you can kind of lose that perspective if you get stuck in a rut. That's not really aimed at you, Knave Hearted, but just a bit of overall advice from some conversations I've been having recently. So guys, yeah, mix it up. Try something. Ricardo Arturo Perez Didioso says, welcome back, Mike. Hello, Ricardo. I was worried you'd been disconnected. Glad you're back. Yeah, the people had nearly got to me, man. But the underground is safe. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance. Wow, Terminator 4. Amul Khalid says, oh, Mikey, I missed your drawing. It's really inspired me to do better on mine. Excellent, dude. There's no other YouTuber that makes me feel comfy whilst drawing my artwork. Oh, guys, sip a tea to that. I hope you're all feeling really comfortable at home, guys. It's you and me. Don't you worry. Let's get a little bit of work done. Lovely. Ryan Hawk, glad to see you too, bro. Thank you very much. Lustwaffer says, Mikey, what software stroke hardware are you using for these drawings? I'm trying to transition into drawing on a digital format like this and would appreciate some advice. Dude, okay, so the software that I use is Adobe Photoshop. It's the industry standard. However, you have to pay monthly. And there are a lot of other free softwares out there. I've yet to play with them. I do certainly want to in the future. A software you do pay for, but you only pay once. And they often have a lot of discounts to it. It's called Clip Studio Paint. It used to be Manga Studio. And everybody I know that uses Clip Studio Paint says it's better than Photoshop. They live by that. So you've got plenty of options. As for hardware, I always make sure I've actually got it in the top pinned comments to most, if not all, of my videos. I always let you know what kind of hardware I'm currently using. My digital tablet right now is a Huion Canvas Pro 20, good sir. H4A, so fucking amazing, man. Oh, thank you very much, dude. And Joseph Carr says, man, I really need those illustrations. They're so gorgeous. Oh, you guys are too kind. It's just kind of a rough sheet of me trying to get back into the flow. But you guys are obviously responding really well to it. And actually, now that I think about it, when I used to do this in the sketchbook for the much earlier episodes of Draw With Mikey, you know, just sit down and fill every gap on your sketchbook page with a drawing of a particular character and kind of get a feel for it, tends to get a fair few clicks. So yeah, guys, I'll make sure that this is up available to the patrons as well. Kid of a Squid says, welcome back from your hiatus, Mikey. Hey, kid. I missed your rambling for so long. I often miss your streams because of time zones, but your Draw With Mikeys are something that I like to hear whilst drawing. Ah, dude. Excellent. Thank you so much for saying, dude. Matthew Brown says, I think you might get demonetized again for this. No, Matthew, it's fine. No nipples was the key, but don't let YouTube know. And also, how big should I draw my eyes? Is there a good rule of thumb? Dude, there kind of is. And I think it's... But, dude, look this up. I'm trying to remember something off the top of my head. If you're talking about human eyes, then in the width of a single human head looking face on... the two eyes should be one eye space apart from each other and half an eye space away from the very sides of the head, as you see the, you know, the sides of the head curve far away from you in foreshorten. But yeah, it depends what your work is. I notice a lot of people who start in an anime style go super big with the eyes, and then the more that they tend to refine their style and their skill, I notice that the eyes start to get smaller and smaller, which is really interesting. And then, like, I notice some anime people keep pushing it until they're entering that kind of cross divide of anime and kind of actually referencing quite closely to human features and stuff, which is where you can get some absolutely, well, right across the board you can get some incredible artwork, but there's loads of options. But yeah, I've never really seen somebody start drawing with smaller eyes and then get bigger and bigger into anime. I only ever see people start anime drawing massive eyes, and then as they refine their techniques, the eyes start to become a bit more ratioed and scaled to the face. Flufflord, I like your name, says, glad to have you back and not hammering shelves together. Keep up the good work. Yeah. Okay, so I've got some sweet shelves in my new office space. You can maybe, oh no, I'm not on the camera for most of this in the new space, but in some of my other videos, if you see over my shoulder, we've got the studio, the headquarters of the Megaverse. Ark and Craft says, those dulcet tones, that was... Oh, Dorset, that was bloody you, Dorchester, wasn't it? I love your work, keep it up. No, did I say Dorset tones? Hopefully I was going for dulcet. I'm not from Dorchester. By the way, please share those text documents. Oh, what, with all of the suggestions from everybody over the years? Do you know what? It probably really is a powerhouse of excellent recommendations from you guys. You know, it's just reminded me of mitochondria. Powerhouse of the cell. Anyway, you don't run this cell, this is my prison. Takes off mask. I'm mitochondria. Slim McWilliams says, hey Mikey, I love your art and I was hoping you'd possibly draw a Persona 5 character. Slim, if you suggest a character, I'll add it to the list. Slim, I've got Persona 5 on my to play list for the video game streams as well. I hear good things about that, so I'm certainly looking forward to it. Danger Archer 11 says, thanks for introducing me to the masterpiece, which is Weeping Drill. Although I thought nothing would beat Licker Puff. JK, this still doesn't count, but comes in a close second. Here's a challenge. Make the memeiest combo Pokemon you can. Oh no, Danger. I'm thankfully I'm done with the Pokemon fusions now. My very first one was instantly my one true love. It's all about Weeping Drill. Weeping Drill is best boy. Although I did see somebody make a really terrible one, and it was, I think it was that, what you said, not the whole thing, not Lick a Puff, but Lick a Tongue, right? So it's for Big Lick. And then there's like a Pokemon, I don't want to say Ghastly or something. It looks like an evil clam, an upright clam. Careful, vertical seafood taco. And it was a combo of that. So it's this upright clam, right? But because it's with the Licker Puff thing, the whole thing's pink. It's starting to look like something very particular. But then there's this massive tongue kind of coming out of it. And it's just like, ooh, I don't know what this is, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be looking at it. So that was probably the most particular one I've ever seen. Somebody sorted it out online. But Weeping Drill's where the magic's at, man. I'm not moving away from Weeping Drill. I'm staying pretty solid. Bear Scott says, welcome back, Mikey. I can't wait for new content. It's been so long. Dude, I know, right? Thank you. Also, please do a drawing of Yumeko Jabami from Kageguri. Ooh, I don't know who that is, dude. Let's pop that on the list. I'm actually just going to Control-C that straight into Google Images. Yumeko Jabami. Ooh. Red school shirt, dark hair, sharp fringe, black stockings. I like. Okay, yeah, no, I'll think about that. Tango says, what's the pencil settings that you use? I'm new to Photoshop drawing. Oh, Tango. If you're ever able to come into one of my live streams, Tango, you don't even need for me to be live. Don't worry, this is going somewhere. I'm not trying to get you onto Twitch. But do go to twitch.tv/mikeymegamega. I don't even need to be streaming, but there's a command. If you go into my chat and type !brushes, that will give you a link to the 6 or 7 brushes that I use in Photoshop. I have one of the smallest brush packs compared to other artists because I'm a very simple man and I don't want to confuse myself. But yeah, dude, you can just get them from me and work from there. Art Lopez says, putting your skills to the test, please draw up Major Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in His Shell Standalone Complex. Art Lopez, I love that you've specified the Standalone Complex as well, the SACs. I really love the Laughing Man stuff. And the individual 12 or the individual 11 was also super interesting. Dude, do you know what? Yes, by the way, Motoko Kusanagi, because I'm a big Ghost in the Shell boy, I've tried doing her once or twice, and I tried doing her, I think, back when I injured my hand from skiing years ago. And basically, the 1 or 2 times I've tried to give her a go as I was developing with my style, I failed massively. They were not great images of her. So she's like my unconquered... You know, the sword's still in the stone, right? We need to fucking draw it free. Wait a minute, guys. Sorry, I've just had a medieval English historical conflict in my brain. The sword in the stone, was that Excalibur? Because I thought Excalibur was in the lake. The lady in the lake has Excalibur. So, who's the sword in the stone? Is it just a sword? But it's got nothing to do with King Arthur. Guy, I'm going mental here. This is suddenly just caused an error. I'm just like, wait a minute. They were both Excalibur, weren't they? The sword and the stone. It doesn't matter. Guys, if you know. If somebody just happens to know and you're listening along, would you mind letting me know? I just need to get that itch scratched. Felipe Zaus says, I really like the kind of videos here. I think you can learn a lot from that. It's nice that you're back. Thank you, Felipe. And Jume says, when Mikey's back from hiatus and uploads 2 days in a row. Yes. We got our tablet review up and then the DWM and then you've had this Saturday's fan art. And then... Obviously, there's the tablet review. So I'm recording this at the start of the week. I'm not sure if I've got my tablet review video out in time. Oh, shit. Okay, anyway, but this is certainly out in time. At least that's good. We always aim for Wednesday of these series, but then sometimes I'm a bit late and it comes out on Thursday. Don't at me. Francisco Saldina says, thanks, Mikey. Hey, Francisco. I love your work. It's helped me to get back into drawing after I quit a few years ago. Guys, it's never too late. I don't care if you've gotten into it and quit and you feel bad that you'll never be where you used to be, so what's the point? Bullshit. I don't care if you're really old now and you're just like, oh, I've only got a few years left in me before I meet the Reaper. I don't care. Get yourself a sweet little pencil and a pad of paper. Scare your relatives by telling them that you're making some changes to the will or something, but then actually just sit down and start doing some drawing. It's totally fine. Talon VA says, Mikey, I missed you, buddy. Talon, right back at you. I've missed your super good hot as my summer art. Oh, I like what you've said there. I'm just working my summer away at a crap job, mate, I feel you. Trying to get into voice acting so that I can quit working in a crap place. Hope all is well with you and the new studio. Heck yeah, looking forward to the tour. Yes, guys, I'm going to be so proud to show you around. Remember, Mikey's standards are quite low, so if you watch any kind of cool space or studio tour on YouTube, like you're going to see some awesome shit. My studio tour is going to be, here are the tables that I took from an office, here's the mismatching desk, here's a load of wires, but like it's got the right kind of spaces. It's function over beauty, but to me, it's a beautiful space. And I've got all my books on the background. Oh yeah, good times. Okay, let me not flex about my studio. I don't want to keep flexing on you guys. I don't want to be that kind of guy. Do you know what I'm saying? They call me Mikey Mega. He's so bloody bold. He drives a bloody car which is 10 years old. My car's 11 years old. I think it's 12. It needs an MOT. D1 Digital Zero says, glad to see you're back, Mikey. A long-time fan, and I'm working on being half as good as you. Dude, you can be twice as good if you put in the time. Don't you worry. Get yourself on that path. Evan Axel says, hello, Mikey. My summer has been going very well. Guys, I did ask. I'm finally getting back into drawing and it feels great. I know, right? Once you get over that lump, it's good times. Watching your videos have also helped me a great deal with my art during school. Thanks for saying. Like, seriously, your tutorials saved my life. Dude, I do what I can. As for a waifu suggestion to draw, how about Morigania from Magi Labyrinth of Magic? She doesn't get as much fan art as other waifus. Evan Axel, Control-C, Control-V. Thank you for the suggestion. Muse says, glad to see your videos again. I miss that sweet voice of yours. It's so good to be back. You should seriously consider doing an ASMR. Really? Really? Ooh, really? Gonna copy that idea. We could. I don't know if that's a thing. You need to buy one of those microphones, which is 2 ears. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then you need to, like, get stuff. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mega ASMR. Today we're going to be quietly drawing some massive pachungas. I hope you're enjoying tea. Do you know what? Actually, that's probably triggered some people. I know some people hate the sound of, like, and noises and food slapping, so I do apologise. You're all safe here. Alverick Grimm says, whoa, I'm glad you're back. Dedicated art space. I bet it's amazing. Oh, like I say, dude, it's rough around the edges, but it does the job and it makes me so happy. I'm glad the copyright claims seem to be dissipating. Hopefully it's going to be fully gone soon. Yeah, I've just got to chip away at them, dude. Thank you. The guy who made the hover bike and jets, is that called? Oh, yeah, guys, dude, you've nailed it. So I was saying last episode, like, some of the YouTube videos I've started watching are just like videos where people talk about interesting things, or like projects, or like stories behind projects that went really well or went really wrong. Just like, I don't know, just really interested, because it's the same part of my brain that's really interested in watching documentaries about failed movies, because the reasons why they flopped or why they were such like a commercial mess is often some really incredibly interesting behind the scenes stuff. Anyway, yeah, the guy that made the hover bike and puts jets on stuff, Colin Furs, that was definitely who I was thinking of. And then you've just given me the heads up on Outlast as well. Thank you so much, dude. Glad you took the story about your feelings this week. Took me on the story about your feelings. Oh yeah, I'm always sharing, guys. I'm always sharing. He be thicker than a snicker, says Chaotic Peace. Well, what have you got to say in that case about good old Big Mama Thanos? She's coming for you. Mohammed Idcleas says, I love your draw video tutorials. Thank you very much. But it seems the period is too long for me. Ah, dude, it has been a while. Just thinking if you might make some video in short duration, like 10 to 15 minutes, it would be great. Dude, I want to so much. I know maybe I should try fitting them in. Remember, I only really like to make a tutorial video once I've had a bit of a play with the topic matter myself, and I'm happy enough that I'm giving you some relatively okay advice. I could sit down and be like, hey guys, today we're going to draw, I don't know, how the kneecap works, and I could just kind of rough through it from what I roughly know, but I'd rather draw a lot of kneecaps, think about the mechanics and how light hits stuff and form, and then boil that down into some nice simple basic shapes and then go through. And the thing is, the time that I could spend doing that, I've currently got to spend it drawing sexy waifus to catch up on Patreon, because it's so behind. However, the last fan art is now the most recent Patreon reward, so now I'm just filling in the gaps from behind, so to speak. So anybody who joins is going to see that everything's up to date, and everybody who hates me on Patreon because they're waiting for their stuff, they're the ones that I'm still focusing on. It's such a swings and roundabouts, but it's only my own fault, so all those feelings are legit. Luca Bettini says, Mikey, I love your videos. We all love your videos. So could you make Anna Nishikina Nomiya from Shimanotia, please? Ooh, Luca, there's so many... You're saying characters, and I'm just like, oh, I don't recognize them. And then you're saying anime, and I'm just like, I don't recognize that either. I'm so out of touch. Juan says, man, Vinland has an anime now, and it's awesome so far. Oh, dude, I'm so glad to hear that. I really like that manga so much. It's definitely the entire manga story is a manga of two very distinct halves, and super just interesting for it. It doesn't kind of lose anything, but it's very much two different feelings behind it. Vinay Herb says, hello there, Mikey. I mean, the overall message is still the same. Hello there, Mikey. I just love your art style, and even that piece was just a little bit of a scribble. It's amazing. Oh, thank you. Also, your voice is the best for drawing. Ooh, and your... Is that a compliment or like a backhanded thing? Do you know when you say like, ooh, she's got a face for radio? You've just said that I've got a voice for drawing. Does that mean I better shut up and just put pencil to paper? Anyway, you're the reason I got my XP Pen Artist 12. Oh, dude, I'm a happy little boy of it. I'm very pleased to hear that, dude. Thank you for everything you do and have a good day. No, you have a good day. Sorry for the imperfect English and best wishes from Germany. Hey, prima, man. Cheers. Thank you so much. Wie geht's du? Guys, okay, I'm just making sure that I'm still keeping an eye on the time and stimming down for your delicious comments. There's so many of lovely people I'm just scrolling through with short sentences saying hello and stuff like that. The journey to being demonetized begins again. ETV, you know it. Hyper Guy says, hey Mikey, hello there Hyper Guy, long time subscriber and admirer of your work, even though it really doesn't translate to the Western style of comics and art very well. Yeah, anime and their noses is a completely different world than Western art and their noses. If you want some more art, look for Final Fantasy VI Yoshitaka Amano. He's the original artist. Oh dude, dude, I'm familiar. Yeah. Very interesting, like whimsical fantasy stuff, and it's like often coloured and blended in with inks and watercolours. Yeah. Very particular. Stevie's Little World says, now we can get back to the tutorials. Love the way you say it. Thank you very much, Steve. Again, soon, not just yet, but we'll get there soon. We'll get there. Let me just do this some more. Turn Pikachu into an anime girl. Luna-chan. That's not a bad idea. We'll see how we go. Double X Son of a says, Mikey, do you remember I said try out Hotline Miami a long time ago? I will still remind you. Yep, no dude, excellent. I got to read through all of the comic series and then we'll play the thing. I keep saying this every time you remind me. Okay, still scrolling down on you lovely people. God, so many comments. So thank you so much, guys, for all having something to say. Remember, if I don't read out what you've put this time, if I've missed it, I'm awfully sorry, but don't fear. Simply, if it's really important, copy it and paste it into this episode, and I might just catch it next week around. You're sorting out your gaming backlog, Sky King Zero. Excellent stuff. Dude, I've got so much to get into, but it's all about Breath of the Wild right now. At the weekend, I really wanted to play Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I'm currently, I keep bringing more stuff over with my computer, so I've got the tablet set up, the speaker set up. One of the last things I dragged over in terms of the electronics was the Elgato card in my video games consoles. And for some reason, same port, same USB, same cables, same combination. My computer completely just could not recognize Elgato properly, and OBS started freaking out. And I had to just uninstall everything and build it up from scratch. I couldn't even save my scenes because they were causing some of the issue. Which meant instead of playing Breath of the Wild all Sunday long like a good boy, because I bloody earned it because I was working hard, I just spent my entire time troubleshooting and dealing with cables. Oh man, poor Frankie. Staffer Horn says, hi Mikey. Hello there, Staffer. I'm fairly new here. Oh, hi. Thank you so much for joining us, dude. But thank you so much for all of the awesome tutorials and fan art videos. You're welcome. Watching your channel has significantly improved my drawing game, for which I'm massively grateful. No, it's the other way. I'm so grateful for you guys for following along and watching. Thank you very much, guys. Come on, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you lot. The fact that I am, to a great extent, neglecting my gaming and anime binges on behalf of your show is of no minor importance. Oh, have you ever drawn Red Monica from Battle Chasers? Oh, I was thinking of Red Sonja then. It would be great to see your version. Cheers. No tea, but just hot cocoa here. I'm going to forgive you because you've been so kind, Staffer. And dude, no, I haven't considered doing her. I'm going to have to look her up as well. I've just made a cheeky little note. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Osama Garbi says, do I have permission to fap on your drawer? Osama Garbi, as long as you keep your doors and windows closed and you wash your hands and wipe down your surfaces, you go live your life however you enjoy it. TJX says, you just don't learn, do you? Yeah, okay. So I've just been complaining a lot about being demonetized, and then I've just done a load of there's not really nudes, they're more figure studies. There's technically a kind of attitude difference. They're not super sexualized. I'm just thinking about drawing a form. But yeah, I've made a lot more demonetizable content against just in my blood. Brandon says, to answer your question, I got myself a Switch and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Oh, dude, Brandon, I was asking a lot of people about this. Wait, was this a question that you're answering? As in, Breath of the Wild for the Switch is obviously the main player, and I started wanting to know, there's a handful of other games that seem good. Mario, the one with the hat, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, dude, nailed, and I think there was a couple others. I want to say 2 Stories, 2 Root, Octopath Traveler. And so I was actually asking a few people in live streams, Brandon, because I've got still that £30 off voucher with my bundle, what should be the second Switch game I buy? And it must be a Switch exclusive, right? Otherwise, I'd probably just buy it for cheaper on the PlayStation or something, because Nintendo never drop their prices. Dude, is it Xenoblade Chronicles, would you recommend? Is that the one to go for? You also turned 40 on the 1st of the month. Brandon, happy birthday to you. Dude, congratulations. I hope you had a bloody lovely time. I also have a project in the works, but I've grown so accustomed to working traditionally that switching to digital, even for colouring, is proving a tiny bit confusing. It's like I know what to do, but I also don't simultaneously. Oh, yeah, mate. finding it into like a different territory like that and moving over into digital. If you're so used to that texture feeling of working traditionally, yeah, I know what you're talking about. If you're going to be colouring in digital, dude, my first thing, one of the mistakes I certainly made very, very early on is I went too hard and I went too saturated with all of my pieces. So if you've got like this nice traditional piece and you've scanned it in and you're going to try digital colouring, if you're using something similar or like Photoshop, maybe pop onto a multiply layer first with some of your lighter colours, lower the opacity of your brush, and don't go super saturated. Stay away from the right hand edge of that colour bar where all the colours are really thick, and build it up in layers. Start light and work your way through. That way you're going to slightly more closely follow the act of, building up layers, traditionally blending, doing lighter watercolor layers and seeing how it looks before you keep applying more and more. If you can recreate that paced, slower method in digital, that might help your kind of experience with it. Let me know how you get on, dude. Stardust Observer says, "Hey Mikey." Hello there, Stardust. I was wondering what your most influential artists as of right now, and if you study them and stuff. Mine is Mandela Ree or Simon Luti or Zar Gusav. Also, welcome back. Oh, Stardust, that's a big question. Who am I looking at right now as art? I think right now, I've actually been looking, and I've mentioned this guy before, Dave Greco. He's got his own YouTube channel now. Dave Greco is an artist on Twitch who gets some really lovely textures and feelings out of his artwork. But the reasons I've recently been kind of thinking about his work is that he does a lot with thinking about the way light can really help sell the character and where he puts the light on there, which is kind of why I just had such this hard focus on light in all of these russet tones in my last fan art piece. But he also, he might have like a lot of ideas going on in a piece, but as he renders and develops that piece, he keeps an eye on the overall zoomed out main large bulky shapes, and he tries not to let any one particular area get too over cluttered in a design. And so I was sort of thinking about stuff like that as well. So like, I'll just go to the last fan art piece again. I kind of had this layers and weights where we've got some focus on the head of the character. Then I've got all of this material on cloth of a scarf and the top of the outfit as it's flowing away. And I kind of let that be a bit of a pull for the eye, and then I kind of let things relax again. So we've got all of this smooth skin that's under the shibari ropes, and it's not particularly overworked. It doesn't really pull too much for the eye, but it's a bit of plain to contrast against the heavier detail. And obviously there's loads of other areas. We've got details in the arms and the sword blades, and then the leaves kind of blend it all in together. But that kind of attitude of seeing the overall shapes, looking for mistakes, but also keeping an eye out for where things are getting a little bit too cluttered and they're messing up the evenness of the piece. So I'm definitely trying to get a bit of that thought pattern. I do have a few other artists on mind, but they're all related to me needing to do some sexy fan art, so they're all not safe for work artists. But let's just say there's a few others that I've been looking up recently that I keep my door shut for. Devastator Official says, "Hello Mikey." Hello there, Devastator, how are you? "I discovered your channel in the summer of 2016. The summer of 2016. We were so young and we were so keen. Remembering the days of watching Mr. Bean. She had beautiful hair and it meant what it means in the summer of 2016. Down, 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 down. Oh yeah, down, down, down. We're driving on a 65. Anyway, oh God, guys, I'm so sorry. Do you know what? I've just realised. The last DWM was the first one in a long while, and I was just thinking, God, do I even remember how to do this? Now I've just remembered. I try to promise not to sing stuff. I know it's not good, and I know it's bad, and I apologise. It just slipped out. Anyway, you helped me jumpstart my art style, and I cannot thank you enough for how you impacted my art the time I needed it the most. Oh, dude, I'm so glad to have a good effect. That's all I want. That's all I want, right? I want you guys to fucking... I mean, most of you already feel it, right? You already enjoy art, and we're just kind of focusing and trying to improve our skills. But there are people out there who are kind of struggling to get into it, or maybe haven't given it a try, and I want you to try it. Like, getting into drawing can genuinely feel really good and really satisfying. Let's not pretend there's not struggles for all of us, but like, yeah, dude, it's good. It's good vibes. It's good vibes. Anyway, I look forward to seeing what you're going to draw in the future. Thank you. I think the horror game you were talking about at the end was Outlast. It was, dude. It was. Thanks. And it's personally my favourite horror game. Dude, it looks horrifying. It doesn't rely heavily on conventional jump scares, but there are a few sprinkled in here and there. I'm not going to lie. Ugh. Oh, let's put it on a back burner for now. I'm just going to leave that one in the fridge. Hi, Mikey. How much money can come from No Bad Boy pictures in comparison to normal commission? And on Dio, everybody's got their own rates. Most of my commission stuff, and by the way, I've been closed for commissions for an incredibly long time. Most of my commission stuff usually had a bit of a spicy edge. I outpriced from my worth. I priced myself too high anyway. I'm just like, dude, you can probably find another artist who'll do exactly the same thing for a bit cheaper. But I priced myself quite high because I don't have much time. So if you want my time to do a particular art, I'm going to make you pay for it in order to make it worth it for me. That being said, I tend to have a different kind of caveat compared to safe and not safe for work. My caveat is it a completely private commission, or are you happy for me to live stream it whilst I paint it, make like a time-lapse video for Draw With Mikey, and stuff like that, and I reduce the price, because that way I'm maximizing, how to put it, two birds with one stone, basically. So I reduce the price of commission a little bit if they're happy for me to also make that part of my online artwork and art experience. Obviously not actually handing out high-res copies of that commission to anyone or making it available online. But in terms of the filming process as I go through and construct it, that's usually a win-win for both of us because it keeps the edge off the top of the pricing. Jose Lulu says, I hope I can draw like you one day. Jose, keep at it and you will be drawing better. And guys, oh no! Guys, we're coming towards the end. Okay. Let's have a quick, oh god, I'm having a quick skip through. Sonic Love has just subbed, and thanks for the welcome. Excellent, Sonic, nice one, dude. I'm so glad you did your outstanding stuff. I hope to improve a lot. I'm rolling the ninja fingertips. Have a wonderful, oh yeah. That hand movement, I know what you're talking about. Excellent, Sonic Love. I've just had to speed through that comment because I know we're so close to the end. When your mum makes actually good food, it says, am I the only one who thinks his tutorials are too complicated? Like I'm trying to draw hentai here and he's speaking the language of gods. I'm trying to draw hentai here. Hey, I'm walking here. What's all this commotion? Okay, guys, good luck with your hentai endeavors in that case. Viternity Dumbbell Nano Kilo Moteru. It was, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Awesome work. Congrats on your new space. Thank you so very much, Carl Boxbone. Dude, new studio tour, please. Yes, Sky King. There will be one in a couple of months. Again, I just need to get the last of things in place. It's still actually a little bit echoey in here. And I can kind of get away with some okay recordings by covering up the microphone. But it's a little too echoey to get the right kind of tone feeling for doing another film cram thing right now. So I do need some bits on the walls. I bought some of those sound muffling panels that you see in the background of loads of other YouTubers' videos. So I'm going to start popping a few of them up here and there and see if that's going to help with the acoustics. Anyway, just scrolling down. Hey, yeah, I've got a bit more time to just grab a couple more. Sergeant Mandingo says, can you make a tutorial about bikinis? I love to draw manga and I have an OC, but when I try to draw bikinis, it's going to go wrong most of the time. Greetings from the Neverland. Hey, man. And what kind of music do you like when you draw? Most of the time I listen to euphoric hardstyle. Sergeant Wendigo, I go through different phases all the time and I actually listen to a lot of podcasts and OSW Review, the wrestling podcast for the Irish guys. When I'm live streaming and I need to get the pace on and do some work, I tend to listen to synthwave and aggressive synth, or quite aggressive overall electronic like Carpenter Brut, or some kind of interesting darker vibey stuff like Atom as well. Please do Darling in a Frank, says Ibrador Gideon Ibrahoge. Yay! Oh god, yeah, actually. Do you know what? I think I did some sketches of her once. Never made it to a video, but I had a little play. And Polaris of God says, what type of desktop computer do you use? I'm going to get a drawing tablet and I want to work with what you've got because of the past year I've watched your videos and become a huge fan of female art. Polaris of God, my desktop computer is falling apart. It can barely stream and it's dying. Not all the fans work anymore. All the LEDs don't come on, and it's booting up over a very long period of time. So I wouldn't quite recommend what I've got. I'm going to get a new one soonish. But dude, I'm going to be doing a review to see, can you buy a super cheap off-brand laptop to make some good Photoshop art on? Do you need to buy a good computer, or can you get away with something a bit cheaper? You know, something that's like a weird brand from China, but it's going to cost you barely anything. So hopefully I can find some middle ground that might suit all of us. I want to experiment to see, just for you and people like you, you know, do you really need to spend too much money, or can you kind of get into digital from scratch, buying a full setup for under a certain amount of money, ideally? Okay, guys, that being said, talking about money, none of this would be possible without those delicious patrons on Patreon who support me, who I am always thinking about and catching up on. My guilt, my love, my joy, my shame. Let me say an extra great big thank you to Stephen F., Anthony C, Ryder2KX, Michael P, Carlos R, Fabio, Akumu Arts, Jamie, Melissa, and Zahaki. You guys are the absolute highest tier on there. There's an absolute heck load of you, lovely people supporting me. It's absolutely great. Thank you so much. Get on there if you want to get access to stuffing, artwork, all that kind of thing. And of course, guys, tell me about those Fire Emblem waifus. Tell me about anything that's inspired you to try something new with your art. And I'll see you next time. Take care.